Hi folks, welcome back to the channel. This is More Sporting. I'm Pat Moore and this is the backyard. So appreciate you stopping by. This video here is going to be about my bass fishing tournament for 2023. It is the season-long tournament, 5 smallmouth, 5 largemouth. The elephant in the room is I didn't catch 5 largemouth, and that's because I'm a newbie at this whole experience. So I really need some help with catching largemouth. So if you see anything that I could do to improve on catching largemouth, I really would appreciate it if you put it in the comments down below. But let's go ahead and take a look at all the fish I caught, and I will share with you the lures and the water temps, air temps, all that stuff will be shared with you, so that if you're a newbie too, you can learn from my successes and failures. All right, let's get right onto the video.
So this first fish was caught on Lake Washington in early April. Caught it on a blade bait, a vibrating blade bait.
Oh, I hooked into something. Can't believe it. Cold as this damn water is. And it is a bass. Wow. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Look at that dude. Alright, I don't think he's gonna be a long-term keeper, but I am gonna measure him just for the practice.
This next fish was a personal best up until the point when I realized that the GPS data was incorrect. It was probably the largest smallmouth that I caught to date, and this is in Lake Washington.
Well, I got something on here. I don't know what it is. Pretty good sized fish. That I can say for sure. Holy hell. Woo! What are you? Oh my goodness. That is a smallmouth of large scale. Holy shit, shucks. Woo! Look at that smallmouth. Oh my gosh. That's not something I'm used to catching. Wow. That, sir, is a nice fish. Okay, let me. Well,
technically this is my second fish, and he was 16 and a quarter, Lake Washington. It's caught on that same lure, that chatter minnow. It seemed to be really productive.
I wasn't smart enough to turn the GoPro on while I was catching this fish, but I was a little too excited. That's a heck of a fish right there. Huh? Yes. Wow. Okay. Let's get him back in the water while I get all my measuring accoutrement.
Me, I am a hard-headed individual, because when I took these photos, the Tourney X app actually captured the GPS data and assigned it, and it was correct this time. I don't know whether it had to do with the fact that I had turned it on for my camera, or whether it just happenstance, luck of the draw that it got the correct GPS data. But yeah, the camera app, as it turns out, on a Motorola, you actually have to tell it to save the GPS data when it takes the picture. If you don't tell it explicitly to save it, it won't do it. So just giving it the permissions to have the ability to get location data doesn't necessarily mean that the camera app will actually save the location data. So you got. Turns out this is my third fish, and it is my personal best. But ignore that ridiculous outfit on my head there. This was a 19 3/4, which probably I could have got 20 inches out of it if I tried.
This would be a personal best smallmouth. That's what this is.
Holy. That's a smallmouth. He's huge.
Yeah. And, okay. Here's the hero shot with a ridiculous headdress. I won't ever be able to use that picture, but there he goes, back in the water. So here's fish number 4 taken out of Lake Sammamish on a rainy day, and it's another beautiful 18.5-inch smallmouth. Super excited to get this fish. So here I am digging around in my the equivalent of my bait store. I've got hundreds of stuff underneath my seat here. And I noticed that there was some lures in here that I had painted up a year and a half ago that were sort of a shad pattern, and they were square bill. And I remember when I did a test on them, I really liked the way that they swam, and it seemed like it was a nice moving bait. So I thought, all right, well, I'll put that on. So that's what I did. I tied on one of those square bills. So it turns out that seems to be the right decision, because I don't know, 10 or 12 casts later, I got some action. And so I caught something here. And Daryl and I were just lamenting about how difficult it was to catch fish in this lake. So I was a big surprise. I actually got a hit. And what's neat is that I took the information that I had at hand and came up with a plan, an idea of what to do. And yeah, I got this monstrosity here. He's I believe he was 18.5 inches. I'll show a picture of him here in a second, but it was a nice fish. So excited I can't even pay attention where I'm putting my rod. Just toss that down there. Well, I'm not very good at doing hero shots. So, and I'm amazed that that fish didn't flop out of my hands right back into the water. I need to pull those fish inside the kayak when I take that clip off, but I'll live and learn. This one didn't get away. One of them will, and then I'll learn. So here I am trying to measure them up, and yeah, it turned out to be 18.5 inches. And yep, time to put the little rascal back in the water. All right, see you. Wow, fish 5 was like my first fish I've ever caught on a jig, and it turned out to be a nice largemouth bass, 17.25, and this was in Lake Rosinger.
Oh, I think I finally got a largemouth. I can't believe it. Freaking caught one. I hope I get him to the boat here. He's already jumped. Come on, little fella. No, don't do that. Oh, okay. Oh my God. Oh my God, I caught one. Oh. Okay, now I need my phone. It's not tethered because my tether broke.
Up next, fish number 6. This is a largemouth bass, and I had been fishing for an entire day and caught literally nothing. And I was fishing with a floating worm, and it looked great on the water, and I was tossing around a dock, and out of nowhere, this bass just came up and hammered it. It really startled the dickens out of me because I had been struggling the entire day, and I'd tried multiple things, and I wasn't seeing anything on live scope. I wasn't seeing anything anywhere. I mean, if I was fishing Ned rigs, I was fishing wacky worms, I was fishing everything, and I just was getting no response from anything. And to have that fish just come up and be that aggressive to just hammer that thing right off the surface was pretty cool. And we'll measure him up here. I think he was 17 and a quarter. Fish number 7. This was in Lake Umatilla, and I caught him on this crankbait. It was practicing, so I tied this on, and the fish came up out of some grass and hammered it. And the boat was in 30 feet of water, but that fish, when he hit, was probably more like 20 feet of water.
My goodness, we got another one. And there's another one with it. Ah, that's a good sign. Look how deep the water. We're in 30 feet of water. Good Christ. That's a big fish. I'm going to have to measure this one. God damn it, fish. Boy, that's one powerful fish. A little premature on my netting, I think. And he's got another one swimming around it, right around it the whole time. Come here. Quit fucking around. Get in the net. Excuse me. Yes, what a fish. Here, Buster. Don't go anywhere. No, don't go anywhere. You just stay right there.
So the reason why I'm measuring this fish is because in my season-long tournament, he's scoreable, and so actually I'm kind of triple dipping here. We got the 2 tournaments running simultaneously, plus my year-end.
17 3/4.
Okay, late September, out on Lake Washington, I was trolling blade bait here. It's very similar to this, so I actually casted it off shortly after catching this fish, but very, very, very similar.
Got him on chatterbait here. If we can get him in the boat. Oh boy, that's a nice one. Yes, sir. That's a nice one. Yeah, the chatterbait fell right out. Oh boy. Look at that fella. You asshole. A little too hot still, are you? That's a nice fish right there. I think we're going to measure him. I think he's better than 16. In we go. See how big we are. 17 and a quarter-ish. Well, yeah, I might be able to get 17 and a quarter out of him with a little bit of jostling. All right, away you go.
All right, here I am out on Lake Sawyer, and this lake has some largemouth in it. It's predominantly a smallmouth fishery, which is what most of the lakes that I fish in are smallmouth fisheries, which is why I got all the smallmouths and no largemouths. But here's one of those special learning moments that we talk about earlier on in the video here. You know how I was hanging a fish outside the boat and it didn't jump off? Well, this one did. So right there is the reason why I didn't get 5 largemouths, because one of them went over the side of the boat. Yeah, you could tell I'm really pissed off because I know it was late in the summer and it was one of my few chances to get a largemouth on the board, and he just went right back in the drink.
Okay, this is what I've learned after reviewing all of my logs and attending bass tournaments and fishing my brains out. There's a few things that I've learned that I really need to improve on. One is I need to use bottom referencing baits a lot more, like the Ned rig, shaky heads, jigs for sure. Those are the ones that seem to catch a large portion of the fish, especially earlier on in the seasons. And also, I want to leverage my live scope to be able to identify when the fish are keying on moving baits versus those slower bottom referencing baits. So those are the things that I've learned as far as the techniques I should be using. I need to get a lot better at finding the fish because you need to eliminate non-productive water as quickly as you can. So I have a lot of work left to do on that. Any comments on that? You're welcome to put those down below. I can use all the help. And with that, I need to start fishing water that actually have largemouth bass in good numbers. So I should be able to do better this year. I'm hoping I'm able to do better this year. But there'll be another video just like this next year. So. All right, well, that's what I got for today, for this video. Thanks a lot for stopping by. Like, subscribe, share, and leave a comment. Thank you.